Catch the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sod Busters.
Line drive, left field, base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes his 2nd run home, and the Sod Busters have the lead.
Us Hastings kids, we kind of have our own little crowd going on in the corner, so it's been a blast.
The 1-2 pitch on the way. Called strike 3, and the Sod Busters are out of trouble in the 7th.
I kind of get what's expected, and we're supposed to do it the right way, everything else, but at the end of the day, it is summer baseball, and we're here to improve every day, but also have a lot of fun.
Sod Buster Baseball.
Previously in the summer, I got to play with a kid from Japan, so that's a cool connection there, and it's just nice getting to know everybody and seeing what they like, kind of maybe they show me something that I'll like and enjoy and take on for the rest of my life. You never know.
Swing and a miss. And the Hastings Sod Busters have won for the 3rd time in a row.
You gotta make sure you have your composure and stay true to who you are up there. You gotta be able to know what kind of baseball player you are, and you gotta play to your strengths.
The Hastings Sod Busters.
Welcome back to Duncan Field. Game number 2 of our doubleheader is just about to begin as the Hastings Sod Busters are going to take on the Nebraska Prospects. Hastings now 2-10 in second half competition. The Independence League, Nebraska 8-2 after the Prospects took the opening game of the Twin Bills 7-1. Hastings actually got off to a good start. It took a 1-0 lead after 1 inning of play, but Nebraska scoring 3 runs in the 3rd. Didn't look back as they scored 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. 6 of their 7 runs being scored with 2 outs as they out-hit the Sod Busters 9-3 in posting their 22nd win in 27 games for the season combined, going back to the first half. It's Steve Stein, it's Ryan Valenta, Noah Pagel is our producer, and Connor Christensen running the stats here today as we get set to go for the Hastings Sod Busters and the Nebraska Prospects. Ryan, pretty well played game, just Prospects really good with 2 outs, and they had Joel Benish on the mound, and that was enough.
Yep, that was the name of the game there. We thought maybe the Sod Busters would break through after the first inning. They got that sacrifice fly across in the first, but all Benish proceeded to do was allow just 1 hit over the next 5 innings, and he really stymied the Sod Buster bats as they were not able to put anything together. But they will try to do that behind. They will try to do that behind Fred Juden on the mound, and he's the Juden brother that has had the less success than his brother Dalton. But for Fred, it's first time we've seen him at Duncan Field in a while.
Catch the spirit of.
To keep the bats in the game on game number 3.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First of all, for the Sod Busters, it's Taylor Gill in right field and leading off. Lane Shires, the center fielder, batting second. Cale Jensen in left field and batting third. Marcos Cabranes plays second base and bats fourth. Nick Jones, the designated hitter, batting fifth. Anthony Chavez, the third baseman, batting sixth. It's Landon Gaz at first base, batting seventh. Rusty Wortman getting the start in game 2 at the catcher's spot. And Josh Printer bats ninth. He's the shortstop. The aforementioned Fred Juden, right-hander on the mound for the Hastings Sod Busters. For the Nebraska Prospects, it's Easton Swafford at second base, leading things off. Colin Lynham plays left field and bats second. Sid DeMeo, the catcher, bats third. Jake Henry Williams in right field and batting fourth. Jackson Meyer is at first base and batting fifth. Then it's Cole Kitchens, the DH, batting sixth. Danny Sponberg in center field, batting seventh. Braden Cannon, third baseman, batting eighth. And Tyler Palmer, shortstop, batting ninth. Braden Curtis gets the start for the Nebraska Prospects. Once again for Hastings, it's Gill, Shires, Jensen, Cabranes, Jones, Chavez, Gaz, Wortman, and Printer with Juden on the mound. For the Prospects, Swafford, Lynham, DeMeo, Williams, Meyer, Kitchens, Sponberg, Cannon, Palmer with Curtis on the mound. Hastings 2-10 in second half competition in the Independence League. Nebraska is 8-2. Sod Busters under the direction of first-year head man Joel Skipper. He's the head coach at Hastings College, a Michigan native. He was a former assistant at Davenport University and at Calvin University. Vinny Carone, the pitching coach. Corey Caranda, one of the assistants for the Hastings Sod Busters. The Nebraska Prospects under the direction of Trevor Varley in his second year. He's a regional guy from Central City High School. Still holds the single-season strikeout leader with 169 for that Legion program in the summer. He's now the pitching coach at Southeast Community College. His assistant, another local guy, if you will, Phoenix Stevenson. He'll be coaching first base. He graduated from Grand Island Central Catholic and UNK, so a couple of local tie-ins as the coaches for the Nebraska Prospects, who have been outstanding this year after their first game win, going to 8-2. It's a split of the series so far. Sod Busters winning yesterday 15-8. First game today going to the Prospects by a count of 7-1. Rubber game of this 3-game series coming up here, a 7-inning contest. The umpires for today's game, it'll be Frank Williams behind home plate. Jake Yeager will be the field umpire in this game 2. Sod Busters will have tomorrow off, and then it is a huge night of winning on Friday. If you want to come out for the 6:35 matchup against the Zap, 6:35 game Saturday and another 6:35 game on Sunday. Should be a real fun, entertaining weekend of baseball. The weather looks perfect, so I invite you to come on out. It's still an entertaining brand of baseball. I know the wins haven't been as frequent as Sod Buster fans, and certainly Coach Joel Skipper and the owner Scott Galusha have hope, but you're seeing some progress and 2 pretty well-played games in this particular series for the Sod Busters and the Prospects. Sod Busters have taken the field behind Fred Juden. Juden coming in 0-4, a 7.94 ERA, making his 9th appearance, his 8th start in 28 innings. He's allowed 27 runs, 25 of those earned. He's allowed 27 hits, 23 strikeouts, 33 walks, and 3 hit batsmen. So more walks than strikeouts for the year for Fred Juden. That has been the knock on him. His brother Dalton has 3 wins on the year for this Sod Buster squad. Both those guys going to be going to York University in the fall. And the Sod Buster defense, catching Rusty Wortman at first base, Landon Gaz. Marcos Cabranes at second base. The third baseman is Anthony Chavez, shortstop Josh Printer, the outfield left to right, Cale Jensen, Lane Shires, and Taylor Gill. Hope you enjoy the YouTube broadcast. Steve Stein and Ryan Valente.
This will be a hopeful bounce-back game for Fred Juden. Interesting stat about him. You mentioned the 33 walks. He has walked the leadoff batter 8 times. All 8 of those occurrences, that batter has come around to score.
Whew.
So limiting those walks and leadoff walks will be key for Juden, as he has only had 2 starts where he has walked less than 2 batters. Every other game he has walked 3 or more. Just finding the strike zone. He's a fly ball pitcher.
Catch the spirit of the
First pitch way high to Easton Swafford. Swafford came in late, went 0-for-1 in the first game today. He's now 4-for-14 against Sod Buster pitching this year. 3:15 coming into today with a team best 2 triples. He is also leading a team with 6 doubles, 19 runs batted in and 20 runs scored. Fouls the pitch away. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on Easton Swafford for the Nebraska Prospects. Swafford, another of the Arkansas boys on this team from Crowder College, takes the pitch outside. 2 balls and a strike on Swafford, with Colin Lynham and Sid DeMeo set to go here in the first rubber game of this quick 2-day, 3-game series. Pitch way upstairs, 3 balls and a strike on Swafford.
That's been a theme for Juden a lot of the year. He has missed head high or even higher with a lot of those fastballs. And, you know, it's hard being 6'7" on the mound and getting that fastball down where you want it.
And he's high here. But if you can do it, I mean, you have such a great angle. If you can bring it across at the knees, it is fairly unhittable. But Fred high and wild early on. A 5-pitch walk issued to Swafford. Not good news. The Prospects, a pretty good running team, and 54 out of 57 on the season. And now they'll have Colin Lynham and Sid DeMeo to try to move those guys along as this Hastings squad trying to keep Nebraska off the board in the first inning. And the pitch outside for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Colin Lynham. He had a rare first game off today, batting .314 for the summer. He has a 5-hit game to his credit against this Sod Buster team, and a 3-hit game. First 2 matchups when the squad from Nebraska put up double digits in both of those games. Overall, 9 out of 17 against Sod Buster pitching, and a 2-0 count on Colin Lynham. It's just 1 strike thrown so far by Fred Juden, and it's 3-0. So tough start here for Fred, as he has not found the zone with any consistency. Remember how the starter in game number 1, Marcus Miller, was so sharp. 15 out of his first 16 pitches were strikes. Not so for Fred Juden, as he does put this one over on the outside corner for a strike, 3 balls and a strike. So says home plate umpire Frank Williams. Just getting rolling, and now time has been called. It looks like something maybe blew onto the field, and Cale Jensen chased that down.
Guys in the bullpen lost a handle of a plastic bag somehow, and it found its way to Jensen and left.
3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Back-to-back strikes for Juden against Lynham. Wind blowing from the right field corner to the left field corner here at historic Duncan Field. 370 down the left field line, 367 to right, 405 to the alleys, 408 to straightaway center. Strike 3, Lynham didn't like the call. He was heading down to first. The Wayne State product shakes his head back and forth. 1 on, 1 out now for Sid DeMeo.
Good bounce back from Juden after falling behind 3-0 to get Lynham to swing at that strike 2, and then perfect pitch on the inside corner to catch him looking.
Sid DeMeo, catcher this game. He went 2 for 4 in the first game with a run scored. The UNO prospect takes the first pitch in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes on Sid. Now 3 for 7 overall against the Sod Busters, as he had a pretty good day Sunday and a blowout win over Fremont. 2 for 5 on RBI and 2 runs scored. He had a double in that game. Hits this one hard and into left field for a base hit. No chance for Josh Printer to chase that one down. First and second and 1 out. So a walk, a strikeout, and now a single for Nebraska here in the top of the first.
Third hit for DeMeo on this twin bill, and he has been hitting the ball well, as he has seen rather limited playing time, but he's a Division I guy, and he's a guy that knows how to play ball, and he finds a perfect hole in left field there to give prospects an early threat.
Jake Henry Williams to the plate now. He went 1 for 4 and knocked in a run in the opening game today. That was won by the Nebraska prospects 7-1. 3 runs in the third inning gave the prospects the lead for good after Hastings scored in the first. Pitch. Curveball a little bit low for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes, as that one hits 71 miles an hour on that off-speeder from Juden. The Juden boys from Coral Springs, Florida, played junior college ball at North Carolina Tech. Fred, the older of Dalton, both those guys getting a chance to play JUCO ball together, and now they'll have a chance to continue their 4-year careers together at nearby York University. Visit to the mound as Rusty Wortman out to visit with Juden, who's fallen behind yet another hitter, as he is yet to throw a first pitch strike to any of the first 4 hitters, and that just is not going to make for a productive day at any level. 1-0 the count. It's been a hitter's count throughout. This one's across for strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Williams. Went back to the fastball and hit 83 miles an hour on that one. 2 on, 1 out for the Nebraska prospects, based in the Omaha metro area, and a lot of guys from that area make up this team. But some Arkansas guys, get Council Bluffs player or 2. Pitches in the dirt and it bounces away from Wortman. That eliminates the double play possibility, as we'll see the wild pitch as Swafford will take third base and DeMeo second, and it goes to 2-1 on Williams. Sod Busters with tomorrow off, and then they'll welcome the Oahe Zap to town for a 3-game series Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be a busy July. Just check out the schedule, HastingsSodBusters.com. 2-1 delivery, swing and a miss, 2-2 on Williams. Williams out of Jonesboro, Arkansas. He's a Division I player at Arkansas State. Has not had great success against the Sod Busters, just 1 for 8, including that 1 for 4 in the first game. 2-2 pitch is upstairs, and it's 3-2. And that's a 3-ball count on 3 of the first 4 batters for this Nebraska prospects team. 3-2. Fred Juden trying to find a way to get an out here. Bouncing ball foul spoils that pretty good one there for Fred. Hoping for a high strike to ball ratio, and that is not happening so far for Fred Juden. Already a lot of pitches thrown, and he's retired 1 man. High for ball 4. 2 walks and a single in the inning, and they are loaded up for Jackson Meyer. Meyer, who came in and cleaned up that last game, working the 7th inning on the mound, is in the starting lineup as a hitter. He's not had a great year so far. 121 with a double. He's knocked in 7 and scored 4 times. takes the first pitch strike right here. No balls and 1 strike on Jackson Meyer. Meyer getting his opportunity against this Hastings Sod Buster team. As he stands in, fouls the pitch away. Overall, 1 for 6 against the Sod Busters, including 1 for 5 yesterday with an RBI and a run scored for the left-handed hitting Jackson Meyer. 0-0, but the prospects are looking to get a crooked number on the board here early in this one. Bases loaded, only 1 out. Fred Juden's 0-2 pitch is lined to the left center field gap. That is trouble, and that is likely extra bases. 1 run will score. Here comes his 2nd run home. That is going to be chased down near the wall. 3 runs have scored. Here comes Meyer, and he slides into 3rd. It's a triple, and the prospects have jumped on top with a big extra base hit from Jackson Meyer. 3-0 is the score.
And boy, that's got to feel good for Meyer as he gets his first triple of the year, just his 5th hit in just his 13th game played. So when it's going bad, you can get frustrated, but with the left-hander putting that into the left field gap, that was trouble all the way. And RBIs number 8, 9, and 10 for Mr. Meyer to break this open in the first.
It's 3-0, and they're not done yet with a runner at 3rd and only 1 man out. Cole Kitchens takes ball 1. He had a double and 2 runs batted in the first game as prospects won the opener and off to a good start here in the 2nd game. This one is popped up right field side into foul territory. Is anybody going to get there? No. Excellent effort for Taylor Gill, who made the slide and stopped it on 1 hop, but unable to get there. It is 1 ball and 1 strike on Cole Kitchens. Kitchens, a Crowder College, Arkansas guy, and he has torn up the Hastings Sod Busters this year. Now 7 out of 13 with his hit in 3 at-bats in the opener. So Fred Juden laboring his way through this first inning, and you mentioned that stat of the day about the fact him walking a leadoff man, scored every time, and unfortunately that continues here today.
9 for 9 now.
1-1 the count. The pitch. Foul back, 1-2 on Kitchens. So working in front of Kitchens hasn't happened much. Did get a first strike against Jackson Meyer, but then Meyer took the next pitch into the left center field gap, and he stands at 3rd after that 3-run triple. 1-2 pitch. This one off the fist, up the middle, and into center field for a base hit. Bad luck there for Juden. He made a really good pitch, but Marcos Cabranes could not knock it down. Kitchens has a single, and Nebraska has a 4-0 lead here in inning number 1.
Yeah, Marcos at second base. He got there in time. That ball just didn't bounce as high enough as he thought it did, as that went under his glove. Run would have scored regardless, as the ground ball to second base. You're getting the runner coming home anyway, but now you, instead of the bases empty, you got another one on just with 1 out.
And Danny Sponberg, who batted leadoff in the first game, is in the 7th spot this contest and takes strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. So Juden at least throwing strike 1 here to the last 3 hitters. See if he can find a way to get an out. Really tough to double up this guy. Sponberg, tremendous speed. Their leading stolen base guy, and he rifles this one to right field. Going back is Gill, twisting, turning, makes the play, and retreating to first will be Kitchens. Good job for Gill. He started to his right, then had to turn back to his left, but made it look fairly easy on a solidly struck ball from Sponberg. There are 2 outs. Here's Braden Cannon. Cannon, the catcher, I should say the 3rd baseman here in the 2nd game, and he is in the right-handed box. 2 on, 2 outs, 1 on for Cannon for the Nebraska prospects. Takes ball 1 a little bit high. 1 ball and no strikes on Cannon. Cannon didn't play in the opener, and Cannon 0-8-6 for the year coming into today, and 1 for 6 against the Sod Busters. Takes strike 1. He's the beer batter this game. Now, last game, Sod Busters got a beer batter strikeout in the first inning. Hoping to do that here in the 2nd game. They will not. It's a little blooper to right center field. Headlong. Shires can't get there. Backed up by Gill. He'll bring it in. When all is said and done, it's going to be a double. And runners at 2nd and 3rd after Braden Cannon was able to get an extra base hit. So 2 guys who have struggled mightily at the plate. Cannon gets a double after we saw a triple earlier for Jackson Meyer.
Yeah, Cannon, the other guy who's batting less than 100 on the year, and he had an offer in the first game, and that's got to feel good for him too. Both hitters around the 100 mark. Meyer and Cannon now with extra base hits here in the first inning.
Tyler Palmer will stand at the plate now. He's the shortstop for the Nebraska Prospects as they have batted around in the first. They have scored 4 so far and threaten again as Palmer takes strike one. No balls and 1 strike on Palmer, who is batting .302 on the year. Played yesterday, went 0 for 3, and takes ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike on Palmer. Hastings Sod Busters down 4-0 early in game number 2 after they dropped the opener 7-1. Fred Juden trying to survive this first. 1-1 delivery. High fly ball left field. Jensen fades back, and Kale will make the catch to retire the side. But Prospects score 4 times on 4 hits, and they leave a pair ahead of the bottom half of inning number 1. Nebraska 4. Hastings coming up. It's Sod Buster Baseball.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say Allo. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Sod Buster Baseball ahead of the bottom half of inning number 1 and 4-0 the deficit as Braden Curtis is already staked to a pretty decent lead. He's 1-1 with a 4.75 VRA, making his 5th start, 17 2/3 innings, allowing 13 runs, 12 of them earned. He's allowed 19 hits, struck out 26. He's walked 5 and
Catch the speed.
strikeout to walk ratio for the Papillion La Vista South product. And now is on to Nebraska Omaha. Braden Curtis, a big right-hander. And his defense, catching is Sid DeMayo at first, Jackson Meyer at second base. It's Easton Swafford, the third baseman, Braden Cannon. Shortstop is Tyler Palmer. And the outfield, Colin Lyman left. Center fielder is Danny Sponberg. And at right, it's Jake Henry Williams. As here comes Taylor Gill, newcomer to this Hastings roster, as he has started the first 2 games and now will start his 3rd game with 0 for 3 in the opening game today as Sod Busters manages 3 hits against 2 prospect pitchers. First pitch outside for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Taylor Gill. He is a Division I prospect, has signed with the University of Ohio after a very successful time at Northeast Community College. He's out of Orem, Utah, so a guy who's making his way across the country from Utah to Nebraska, and then Ohio, his next stop after this summer league opportunity for the Hastings Sod Busters. Swings and misses here. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Taylor Gill, just getting rolling, but Nebraska putting up 4 runs in the top half of the first inning. The big blow, a 3-run triple for Jackson Meyer. Right-handed pitcher brings it home. And this one is flared to the left side. Third baseman gets underneath it and makes the play. Braden Cannon, no problem with the Taylor Gill pop-up. And that will bring to the plate Lane Shires. Shires has been swinging a pretty good bat. Scored the run for the Sod Busters in the opener. He had a first-inning single and would come around and score on the sac fly from Marcos Cabranes. Pitch outside for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Lane Shires, the Kearney guy who's playing his college ball at Northwest Missouri State. 1 year for sure to play at Northwest. He could still have a 2nd year if he wants to. Bounces this one to the left side. Shortstop's got it. Throw to first in time. Tyler Palmer takes care of Shires, and the Sod Busters are 2 up, 2 down here in the first. And that will bring to the plate Cale Jensen. Jensen had a first-inning single last game, went 1 for 3. North Dakota State guy. It was a redshirt his freshman year. had hand surgery late in the spring. Really questioned whether he was even going to play for the Sod Busters, but coming off that surgery and has really had a productive time, and great to see another one of these local guys from Central City come out and play well. It's adding the count 1-0. Bounces this one to the right side. That's handled by the second baseman. Swafford throw to first, and the Sod Busters are gone in order in inning number 1. We head to the second. Prospects 4, Hastings nothing. This is Sod Buster Baseball.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sod Buster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sod Buster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sod Buster Baseball.
Hastings Sod Busters Baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate wood-bat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sod Busters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodBusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sod Busters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sod Busters.
At inning number 2, the Hastings Sod Busters trail at 4-0. Contest brought to you by Blue Fork Kitchen, Hastings College, Core CPAs, and Hastings Visitors Bureau. Steve Stein, Ryan Valenta, Noah Pagel, the producer, and got Connor Christensen running the flight scope here, giving us some pitching numbers, and it's 4-0 as Nebraska will start with its leadoff man again in the second, and it's usually a pretty good indication that you're doing all right when your leadoff man is up for the second time in 2 innings.
Yeah, 4 hits in the first, 2 walks, and it could have been a whole lot more. Tyler Palmer put a charge into one to end the inning, but it was allowed Duncan Field out.
High for ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes on Easton Swafford as Swafford walked and scored the first run. Jackson Meyer with the 3-run triple. The big blow, and they had an RBI single from Cole Kitchens and had second and third when the inning ended after a Braden Cannon double. And quickly 2-0 on Swafford as you thought Fred did a better job of throwing strike 1 as that first inning ensued, but here in inning number 2, he is started well out of the zone with his first 3 offerings and just not finding it. 3-0 the count now on Swafford. It's tough to play defense, too, when you're behind a guy who's throwing a lot of balls. Got to be on your toes, be ready to go, because one could be coming your way, although you would think Easton Swafford's probably watching this one. 3-0 pitch, way high. A 4-pitch walk to Swafford, and that will bring to the plate Colin Lynham. Lynham struck out looking back in the first. I'm sure he'll be motivated. The Wayne State Wildcats, a returning player from last year's Nebraska prospect squad. Him and twin Cade started their college careers at Northeast Community College and then on to Wayne State. 4-0, prospects on top. Runner goes. Pitch taken high. Throw down to second base is not going to be in time as Swafford swipes the base. The prospects have stolen 55 out of 58 bases this year. Prospects have beaten the Sod Busters 3 out of 4 times, and the stats would back that up, although the numbers did improve after yesterday's 15-8 win. 1-0 delivery on the way. That's a cross for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Nebraska hitting .325 against Hastings before today, but their ERA went to 4.40, went up over a point against the Sod Busters yesterday. Pitch over the top of the head of Lynham. Their batting average actually dropped 40 points yesterday. Sod Busters against Nebraska hitting .308. They raised their team batting average 48 points yesterday and lowered the team ERA a half a point to 8.5 heading into today's Twinville. 3-1 the count now on Colin Lynham. Prospects winning the opener today 7-1. 7 runs, 9 hits. They committed the only error, but Hastings with just 1 run on 3 hits. 3-1 pitch on the way. Lynham fouls it away. 3-2 on Lynham. As Colin unhappy about striking out looking his first time up. He thought it was off the plate inside. Lynham will have to protect here. Fred Juden trying to strike out Lynham for the second time in 2 innings. 3-2 pitch on the way. Rifled to right center field, but over to make the play is Gill, and rotating to second base is Swafford. Lynham just could not quite get a barrel on it, and a good job for Taylor Gill to make the play, and there's 1 on and 1 out for Sid DeMeo.
Like you said, it's got to be frustrating for Lynham. Everybody else pretty much getting in on the fun, and if you're calling, you're 0 for 2 now, and you have not contributed any part. Got to be a little frustrating when all your other guys are having fun.
Sid DeMeo singled and scored his first time up. Stands in the right-handed box, runner in scoring position, 4-0 a score. And the pitch across for strike, and DeMeo knew it. No balls and 1 strike on Sid DeMeo out of Mount Michael Benedictine, that school just outside of Elkhorn. And now playing his college ball at UNO. 0-1 pitch, and he went around. Quickly 2 strikes on DeMeo, and Fred Juden working on an 0-2 count right here. As Fred, after issuing the walk to Swafford, has come back. Got Lynham out, and he's way in front of DeMeo. Fred looking in at catcher Rusty Wortman. Checking the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. Good one right on the inside corner right there. Is that off-speeder hitting 73 miles an hour, and it's the second strikeout looking for this Nebraska prospect squad.
Yeah, same pitch that struck out Lynham in the first inning, looking that front door curveball. Looks like it's coming right at you, but just clips a part of that plate. And that's now twice that Fred's been able to use that to his advantage.
Here's Jake Henry Williams, who walked and scored his first time up. His prospects getting a big 3-run triple from Jackson Meyer and an RBI single from Cole Kitchens. And a pop to right field, and going back a few steps is Taylor Gill. And good job for Fred Juden, a nice bounce-back inning after getting the leadoff walk. He sets down the next 3. We head to the bottom of the second, 4-0. Prospects, this is Sod Buster Baseball.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back, or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Hastings College has reimagined everything. As a sophomore, you'll spend part of a semester studying abroad, and they'll cover the cost. Recognizing it's a digital world and how you learn, they'll give you an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil. Tools that'll help you engage, whether you're on campus or in Paris. Plus internship opportunities and professors who mentor you. Hastings even provides books. At Hastings College, you'll go somewhere. Go to hastings.edu/discover for more.
Out of the bottom half of inning number 2, 4-0. Prospects on top as they were able to get 4 in that first inning. Nice bounce-back inning, though, for Fred Juden.
You know, with the leadoff walk, you thought, oh, boy, here we go again. But Juden able to settle in nicely and get that strikeout and a couple of flyouts. And that stat I mentioned in the first inning is no longer perfect. That leadoff walk from Juden did not come around to score. So that is the first time in 9 or 10 times Fred has walked the leadoff batter that he has not come around to score. Let's hope that trend continues here and maybe eliminate the leadoff walks in general.
Here come the Sod Busters, 4, 5, and 6. Cabranes, Jones, and Chavez against Braden Curtis, who was outstanding in that first inning, threw only 8 pitches. Got a pop-up, a ground out, another pop-up, and a first pitch strike to Marcos Cabranes, who went 0 for 2, had the lone RBI and the 7-1 setback for the Sod Busters in the opener. Coming out this weekend, 6:35, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as the Zap from South Dakota come to town. Cabranes pops this one right side and down the line, and this one is going to be just out of play over near the concession area. CPI snack shop over there. Quickly 2 strikes on Marcos Cabranes. Cabranes, the Arkansas Tech Wonder Boy, potential business and criminal justice major there at Arkansas Tech. 0-2 pitch on the way from Curtis. Almost hit him, and then almost curved back in and caught the inside corner. 1-2 on Cabranes, with Nick Jones and Chavez to get their opportunities here in inning number 2. Gill, Shires, and Jensen retired in the first. Fastball grounded back up the middle, perfectly played by Palmer. Low throw, but dug out nicely just off the top of the turf there for Jackson Meyer, and there's one out. Here comes Nick Jones, DH. Played a game or two at first base. Caught a game or two, but has mostly been the DH, much like he was at Arkansas Tech during the spring, where he had an outstanding season and really kind of came to the forefront last summer for the Hastings Sod Busters, and then just carried that over into his junior season at Arkansas Tech. Will be playing his final year of college ball coming up. He's had an account here, 1 ball and no strikes to Nick Jones. Lines this one to left field. That's a base hit. Jones, vintage Nick Jones, as he rounds first and will stay there, taking it the other way, and Jones has his second hit of the day after he went 1 for 3 in the opener.
You don't see many lefties use that opposite field approach like Jones does. A lot of them try to pull that ball to the power side, but Jones has sprayed that to the left field many times this summer, and he's rewarded there with a 1-out single.
Here's Anthony Chavez, who went 0 for 3 in the opener. Chavez has really settled in nicely at third base, and for that matter at the plate for the Hastings Sod Busters, and takes the pitch on the outside corner. A 3-hit game yesterday for Anthony, and that pushed his batting average up to 279 for the summer season. It would lower a little bit with that 0 for 3 performance. Throw over to first base and back in safely is Jones. And to think, why are they even throwing over against Nick Jones? He is 1 for 1 in stolen bases for the year, and he almost gets picked off here as he took 2 steps off and a snap throw over for Braden Curtis, and Jones is back in. So Curtis paying a lot of attention to Jones here with 1 on and 1 out. A small lead for Jones. Chavez bounces this one to the left side, but foul. As Anthony Chavez for the Hastings Sod Busters, down to the count, no balls and 2 strikes. California guy going to Chico State. Said redshirt last year.
Catch the spirit.
California, kinesiology and physical therapy major in college to start out anyway. Like I said, college guys and gals average about 3 major changes over their career. Were you a 1 major guy, or did you change?
Catch the spirit.
Yep.
But luckily for me, it was quick. After my first semester in music,
okay,
I realized that I liked sports too much, and so I switched to journalism school and graduated with a sports media and communications degree. And since I took that first semester of music, I figured, I'll just minor in it anyway. So didn't have to take any extra classes, which was nice.
Very cool. Pitch outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Anthony Chavez. 1 on, 1 out, second inning. Sod Busters trail at 4-0 as Nebraska plates 4 in the top of the first. And they have out-hit the Sod Busters 4-1. Jones with the only hit for the Hastings Sod Busters. As the right-handed pitcher, Braden Curtis, brings it home. Low and outside, beautiful backhanded stop there for Sid DeMeo, the Division I prospect there. And looked down to first, but Jones not going anywhere. It's 3-2 now on Chavez. Landon Gaz waits on deck for the Hastings Sod Busters. 3-2 pitch. Line drive, center field, base hit. Jones will hustle down and get to second as the shortstop tried to deke Jones to keep him close to first. Tyler Palmer faked that he was going to make the catch just to make Jones a little more wary to come to second, but back-to-back singles for Jones and Chavez landed Gaz a bat with 2 on and 1 out.
Well, Chavez breaks out of his 24-hour hitting slump. Yeah, he was just 0 for 3 in the first game, but he now with 4 hits on this series, and good to see Chavez keeping that offensive production at the plate.
Landon Gaz at the multi-hit game yesterday went 0 for 3 in the first game of the doubleheader and takes the pitch at the letters for a strike, no balls, and 1 strike on Landon Gaz, who went 2 for 5, a double, 2 runs scored, and 2 runs batted in that win yesterday by a score of 15-8. The Sod Buster offense fairly non-existent of the opener as they were limited to 3 hits. Pitch fouled away as outstanding left-hander able to get the job done. Joel Benish went 6 innings to pick up the victory for the Nebraska prospects. Quickly, 2 strikes on Landon Gaz. Just graduated high school, will be a freshman at UC Irvine in the fall. Curtis with the 0-2 pitch, and this one is lofted high in the air to center field. Sponberg started out a couple of steps, then comes in to make the play, and no chance for advancement. 2 outs in the inning, and now it'll be up to Rusty Wortman to try to continue it. Wortman is first at bat of the series. He'll step in the left-handed box. Has had some neat moments for this Sod Buster squad, despite the fact he's hit only 190, a couple of doubles, 7 runs batted in, and 9 runs scored. Did have a hit against Nebraska in 4 plate appearances this season. Wortman stands in the left-handed box for the Hastings Sod Busters. And this one off the end of the bat. Shortstop has to charge, throw to first, lobs over there, and a nice job, well played for Tyler Palmer, and the Sod Busters are turned away. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. We head to the third. It's Prospects 4, Sod Busters nothing, and this is Sod Buster Baseball.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
And to inning number 3, the Nebraska Prospects lead the Hastings Sod Busters 4-0, and here is Ryan Valenta.
I got to admit, that exercise ball race you just said before we went on air, Steve. They got the red and the green ball, coincidentally, the team colors playing today, and red beat green. That is very inauspicious for the rest of the game.
That's not a good omen. I haven't, surely somebody's kept that stat, whether red has beaten green. Of course, not all of the opponents are red, but man, you want that Sod Buster green to come out on top, just a little mojo, but.
We'll see what Andy has on that stats. I'm sure he's got some numbers somewhere.
If there's a game changer stat on that or not, I don't know. Yeah.
But Fred Juden back on the mound, and I realized, Steve, when we were talking about major switches, you never said. How about you? What was your college ordeal whenever that may have been?
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
They didn't have colleges back then.
Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. All right, first pitch is a ball, and. So were you a one major guy, Steve?
No. Well, kind of. No. I guess I think I probably was an education, maybe history major to start, and then I took a lot of theater classes, and then I got a full-time job in radio, and it was like, okay, how do I get out of school as quick as I can? Because I already have a full-time job, and so I just majored in speech and theater, finished up the degree. So I say I have a bachelor's, and now I'm delivering packages for a living. So that's what a speech and theater degree will do for you in the long run.
That's just the way you drew it up, it sounds like.
Yep.
So Fred Juden's 3-0 pitch is ball 4, and the third consecutive leadoff walk for Juden as he puts on Jackson Meyer. Not a bad guy to put on base. Meyer with the bases clearing triple in the first inning to set the tone as Prospects scored 4 times in the first inning. Prospect offense has been there for each of the games here in this 3-game series, as ball 1 is way upstairs to Cole Kitchens. Prospect scoring 8 runs last night, 7 runs in game 1, now 4 runs in just 2 innings of work in this second 7-inning game. Nubbed foul to the Prospect dugout. And Kitchens now with a 1-1 count. He's been a busy man this series. Last night he came on in relief as a pitcher through 67 pitches. He started the game at third base in game 1 and had a 2 RBI double, and here he is, the designated hitter. Well, he doesn't have to play the field, and he is a prospect after all, so they're built to weather the summer. 2-1 from Juden's up high for ball 3. 3-1 to Kitchens with Meyer at first. Both guys, Meyer and Kitchens, with RBI hits in game 1. 3-1 from Juden is downstairs for ball 4, so Juden missing out of the zone high a lot, but that one down low, and that'll prompt a visit from Wortman, trying to calm his pitcher down. That's the 5th walk for Juden already, and he's yet to complete 3 innings. So just kind of a talk to get him to calm down. And it just seems like there's something at Duncan Field that just doesn't bode well for the right-hander here.
And it's, I'm sure coaches have tried a lot of different things, because it seems like as an inning goes on, he finds his control a little bit more, but he's coming out. Like you mentioned, he's walked the leadoff man every inning. And do you do something different between innings? Do you try to change your pitching warm-up routine? I don't know. It's just been so tough, and I'm sure he's as frustrated as anybody. As now he's walked the first 2 here in the 3rd inning.
There's no one that feels worse than the guy on the mound there. Doing your one job and you can't throw it over the plate. I remember pitching in, I guess we called it Select League. It was where you pay to travel and stuff, but a couple times I was pitching, I threw the ball and I had no idea where it was going to go. And I threw the ball. I was like, I'm doing the same thing. Where is it going? That can be it can just be a sickening feeling for the pitcher. Fly ball to right center field. Gill measures it up. Backpedaling and makes the grab for out number 1. Runners will not advance. And there is out number 1 as Spongberg flies out for out number 2. He's 0 for 2.
And I really thought Meyer maybe had a chance to tag and try, but he just never got back to the bag in time. So by the time he got back there, Gill had a pretty good beat on it, and Meyer did not risk it, as the 8 and 9 hitters will try to produce more runs here for Nebraska.
Braden Cannon, the batter. The Prospects 7, 8, 9 hitters started off the game 4 for 4 with 2 walks. As there's strike 1 to Braden Cannon, the beer batter. They end up finishing the game 4 for 6, as no hits were recorded by the bottom 3 hitters in the 6th inning. A 1 is up high for ball 2. As we mentioned, Cannon, one of the guys struggling at the plate on this team. It's probably why he is the beer batter this game. Fred facing a 1-1 count. Ground ball and just inside the bag. That's a fair ball down the line. 1 run will score. Cannon will have extra bases. And that is an RBI double. 5 runs now for the Prospects, as Cannon has now produced back-to-back doubles. This one drives in a run, and the Prospects have a 5-0 lead.
And Cannon was struggling, I guess we say, because he has done really well his first 2 at-bats here today with the RBI double to go along with the double to put runners at 2nd and 3rd back in inning number 1.
So Meyer scores, and Kitchens moves to 3rd. So the leadoff walk for the 2nd time in 3 innings comes around to score. And now you have Tyler Palmer with 2 on and 1 out. Pitches a ball to Palmer. Palmer was a Husker, had limited playing time, was mainly used as a defensive replacement and pinch hitter for the Cornhuskers. And he played his last full season at Southeast Community College. Takes strike there. So 2 on for Palmer. Palmer did not play in the first game of the doubleheader, and did have 1 hit in last night's contest. Good curveball there from Juden. So he's been able to find that curveball occasionally. That's a good pitch for him if he can put it where he wants it. Juden, a 4-seam curveball changeup guy. Way inside, and Palmer bends out of the way as he avoids the hit by pitch there. But still down in the count, 2-2. And that's fouled off and just off the glove of Wortman. You'd love to have that just an inch or 2 lower and into the glove there for a strikeout, but Palmer will get another swing on the house. Infield playing Palmer to pull. Chavez in line with the third base bag in the infield grass. Printer on the outfield grass at shortstop. And that's probably wise. Palmer yanks that foul to the left side, and similar spot to Cannon's double, but foul. So 2-2 counts. 2 more runners in scoring position. The Prospects trying to break this one open. To center field, hit hard, and in front of Shires for a base hit. Kitchens comes around to score. Spongberg will stop at third. And then RBI single. That's Cannon stopping at third, rather. And there is Palmer with the RBI single, and it's now 6-0.
Good job for the bottom of the order. Double and a single from Cannon and Palmer. They turn things over now, and Swafford, who's already reached twice, gets his third at bat in the third inning as they've now taken a 6-0 lead.
So third time through the order already, just with one out in the third. Runner on the move, throw down, and they cut it off. Throw back to third to back pick Cannon, but he's back in safely. So Palmer steals the base. And now 2 on in scoring position again, still with 1 out. And for Palmer, his 10th stolen base on the season. It's now just 2 behind, the team leader in Spongberg. Curveball misses high for 2-0, and I'll prompt a mid-at-bat visit from Joel Skipper. Action going in the bullpen. And, man, you just hope Juden would be able to get through this at least unscathed, and looks like his time is limited here. So 6 hits already for the Prospects, 6 runs. And Luke Wenzel warming in the bullpen, and we wondered if we'd see him again. He was very efficient. He closed out the game, first game of the doubleheader, had a 1-2-3 inning. He appears to be the next man on here. Yeah, you want to keep your starter out there for long enough, but if he can't get the job done, you're kind of in a tough spot there if you're Joel Skipper. Pop fly, left side. It's kind of in no man's land, and Printer makes the grab just in fair territory and loses the hat but makes the play. Great play by Printer in the outfield as Jensen wasn't able to get there in time. And Printer steals out number 2 there. Big second out.
Printer, you talk about an athlete. He covered a heck of a lot of ground, and Jensen's not able to pick it up, and Printer all the way out into medium depth left field, it felt like, right on the left field foul line to make the play, and then had the presence of mind to gun it back in to make sure nobody was going to score on a rare F6 sacrifice fly.
Yeah, you don't see those too often, especially where he was. So here's Colin Lynham. Lynham, one of the Wayne State College guys. It's the fastball called on the inside part of the plate. And count goes to 1-1. Still 2 on for the Prospects. They've already scored 2 in the inning. So they look to add on here. 1-1. Curveball's high for ball 2. Juden on the year. He is just making his 8th start, and with an 0-4 record, and he has slotted himself to be 0-5 if Sod Busters can't come out of the hole in this one. Sod Busters have played from behind in almost all 3 games. They took a 2-0 lead in the first game. Breaking ball, called strike 3. And Colin Lynham is struck out for the second time, and just the 3rd strikeout for Fred Juden as Lynham heads back to the dugout. 2 more for the Prospects. They leave 2 more, but they enjoy a 6-0 lead. Sod Busters coming up in the 3rd.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue 4 Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
We go to the bottom of the third at Duncan Field. Sod Busters trying to find an answer for 6 prospect runs in the early going here. Braden Curtis back out on the mound. He has been pretty good so far. His 2 innings, he has faced 8 hitters, stranded 2 second inning singles. Best chance the Sod Busters have had so far. And with those singles, it was the first hit that the Sod Busters had gotten since the 4th inning in game 1. That pitch is behind Josh Printer, and Curtis losing command of that pitch. And you haven't seen that one too often. Pitch is in there for strike, went to the breaking ball that time, so might have woken Printer up a little bit. That one way inside. That one looked like a changeup. Goes to 2-1. Sod Busters trying to get to Braden Curtis, who's allowed at least 2 runs in each of his past 4 starts. Ground ball to shortstop Palmer. Easy play, easy throw. Out number 1 as Printer's retired, 6-3.
Palmer's been really good today, and a nice hop. He's able to judge that hop perfectly, so basically came up head high and made it look easy as the Sod Busters do. Turn the order over here as Taylor Gill coming up.
So through the first time of the order, 2 hits for the Sod Busters. And for Palmer, already his 4th chance to ground out today. He's a perfect 4 for 4. Taylor Gill takes strike 1. Gill went 0 for 3 in game number 1 of this twin bill. Look out, prospect dugout as Gill way out in front of that one, but misses everybody down there.
Yeah, I want to talk about way out in front. He's a left-handed hitter and almost hit it right behind him to hit it over on the prospect side.
And he's got some velocity on that one too. 0-2. And again, towards the prospect dugout, this one a little bit softer. So Curtis, 3 pitches this at-bat. Gill fights off number 3 to stay alive. Swing and a miss. Foul tip and held on to by DeMeo behind the plate. And there is the first strikeout for Curtis.
Sod Busters done a decent job of putting the ball in play. Other than the single from Jones, the single from Chavez, not a lot of solidly struck balls. And now see what Shires can get done with nobody on and 2 outs.
Shires went 1 for 2. And there's a foul ball for strike 1. Shires went 1 for 2 with a run scored. He scored the lone run on a Marcos Cabrane sac fly in game number 1. And Shires now with a 3-game hit streak. He's 5 for his last 12. Way inside, and Shires backs out of that one. The departure of some key Sod Buster players. Shires has picked up where they left off in center field, has produced well. Another chance for Palmer at short on the backhand. Long throw, and just in time for out number 3. Sod Busters are turned away 1-2-3 in the 3rd inning. It's 6-0 after 3.
Sod Buster Baseball is sponsored by Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC. It's one of the many ways Jerry and Greg Spady, along with their families and employees, have proudly embraced a passion for giving back to the community. The folks at Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC realize the importance of enriching and improving the lives of their neighbors. They've accomplished this through philanthropy and active personal involvement. Featuring the top new and used inventory in the region and a certified service department, Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC, 2750 Osborne Drive East in Hastings, or at spady.com. Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner, a friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sod Buster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
We played 3 complete at Duncan Field of this 7-inning game. Game 2 of the doubleheader between the Nebraska prospects. Winner of this game will take the series as Sod Busters won game 1 by a score of 15-8. and Prospects winning the first game of this doubleheader 7-1. Luke Wenzel on the mound for the Sod Busters comes in relief of Fred Juden, who pitched 3 innings, allowing 6 runs on 6 hits and walking 5, striking out 2. Wenzel got the last 3 outs of the first game, and he is called upon once again, so back-to-back games he pitches. And for Wenzel, like we said, had a nice outing his last game. Pitched a 1-2-3 inning, which was good to see, and lowered his ERA to 7.38. As Wenzel will try and hang a 0 here for the Hastings Sod Busters. For the Prospects, they will bring 3, 4, and 5. Prospects already through their 3rd time through the order. The Prospects sent 9 men to the plate in the first.
Catch the spirit of
Second, allowing a leadoff walk, but then retiring the next 3. And then 7 more came to the plate in the 3rd inning with 2 more runs scored. 4 in the first, 2 in the 3rd for the Prospects, and that's where things stand now. Sid DeMeo, Jake Henry Williams, and Jackson Meyer due up for the Prospects. Sodbusters still trying to find the theme of good pitching at home. Sodbusters team ERA coming into this doubleheader was 6.82, not including game 1, and opponents are hitting .288. It's about a whole run better and 20 points batting average better for the away games. First pitch strike to Sid DeMeo. DeMeo is singled and scored in the first and was one of 3 strikeout victims of Fred Juden in the second. A 1, check swing. They appeal down to first and no swing. DeMeo almost chased that sweeper in the dirt. Wenzel features a 4-seamer, a slider, and a changeup, and uses the slider more than the changeup as his secondary pitch. Kind of a sidewinder delivery, as that's grounded to the left side. Printer in the hole, long throw, and just in time. Good stretch by Gaz to get the out for out number 1. Leadoff man is retired for the first time today.
With the tip of the hat to Tyler Palmer, how about the job there for Josh Printer? Both shortstops playing really well. Printer had to go a long way to his right to get that one in the hole and make a strong throw to get down to Mayo.
I don't know about you. I thought once it went past Chavez at third, it might be too much. But DeMeo, the catcher running, able to get him by a step. Here's Jake Henry Williams. Walked and scored in the first inning and flew out to right in the second. Williams had an RBI triple in game number 1 and did not have an at-bat in Tuesday's game. Up and in, ball 2 to Williams from Wenzel. So Wenzel now in sole possession of second most appearances on the mound behind Tanner Johnson. Tanner Johnson and Luke Wenzel, both last season at Iowa Western Community College. I think he offered there. Are they not going to check down? Okay, good. They checked down and he swung. I was going to say, someone appeal. He swung.
I think he even knew it. Okay, I'm going to go down to first. Okay, I'll go back.
Henry Williams, he started gingerly walking to first base thinking, am I really going to get away with this? But field umpire Jake Yeager, the first field umpire, says he went around, which is the correct call. There's a good slider there from Wenzel, and now from 3-0 to 3-2. See if Wenzel can bounce back here. Got him swinging from 3-0 to strike 3. And Williams is struck out, and 2 up and 2 down for Wenzel. He has retired 5 straight in his 2 outings today.
Really good job there, particularly falling down 3-0 and probably through ball 4 if not for the check swing for Williams and able to then come back with 2 really good pitches to strike him out.
Might have been the changeup there. First pitch swinging is Jackson Meyer. Cabranes at second base throws him out. And that's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Luke Wenzel. He has retired all 6 men he has faced today, and the Sod Busters hang a 0. The prospects go down in order. Sod Busters coming up in the bottom of the 4th.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say Allo. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Sod Busters coming up, bottom of the 4th. Good 1-2-3 inning from Luke Wenzel. He induces 2 ground outs and strikes out a batter as the prospects are turned away 1-2-3 for the first time in game number 2 of this doubleheader. Cale Jensen, Marcos Cabranes, and Nick Jones due up for the Busters as they'll go back to work against Braden Curtis. Curtis has set down the Sod Busters in order twice in the first and third inning. And back-to-back singles in the second inning did not come around to score, so Cale Jensen will try and break that trend. Pop up, foul ground in left field side, and what a catch by Palmer. And he ran a country mile to get to that one in foul territory as Cannon, the third baseman, and Lynham, the left fielder, not able to get there. And Jensen is retired on the foul out on 1 pitch.
And I think Palmer and Printer are just trying to one-up each other because that was another tremendous play. He didn't have nearly the height to work with that Printer did when Printer went clear out into medium depth left field, but made that catch on the run. Didn't even make the basket catch. Caught it with the glove up. I don't know how he got the angle on it. That baby would have hit the heel of my glove and bounced totally away. Great job for Tyler Palmer.
And Palmer was running at full speed too, so he needed all those wheels to get that ball. Here's Cabranes, swing and a miss. Fastball from Curtis, it's 0-1. Cabranes 0 for 2 in the first game. Drove in a run on a first inning sac fly, and that was it for the Sod Buster offense as Curtis hums that thing in there for ball 1. That one, 1/10 of a mile hour shy of 90. There's the breaking ball this time, and when you have 90 coming at you and you get that, that's going to make for a tough day at the office.
79 on the curveball, and I think Curtis is actually gaining velocity as he goes on.
1-2. Called strike 3 on the outer part of the plate. Cabranes will walk back to the dugout as he thought that pitch was outside, and 2 up and 2 down. Second strikeout for Braden Curtis.
Sod Buster strikeouts haven't been a huge issue over this series as haven't seen their big strikeout guys come into play, but you hope that isn't a sign of things to come. Jones will try to keep it going.
First pitch swinging is Jones. Athletic play by Curtis off the mound and throws over to first, and Meyer holds the bag at first. Easy, quick inning for Braden Curtis as he retires 2 batters on 1 pitch, and he has a nice 1-2-3 inning. Sod Busters are 6 ups, 6 down in a row for the 3rd and 4th inning. 5th inning coming up.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sod Buster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi. Perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sod Buster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sod Buster Baseball.
Hastings Sod Busters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate wood bat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sod Busters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodBusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sod Busters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sod Busters.
4 complete here in Hastings. Prospects hold a 6-0 advantage over the Hastings Sod Busters. Here's our uniform race. Oh, we missed that on screen, but the man coming down first base, there he comes. Oh, goodness. Pants at his ankles, still slides in ahead as his counterpart wins the race there. It's always good entertainment from Jason Frew, the Frew brothers, and everybody involved here in the in-game promotions. We appreciate all they do and all the contests they go through and all the commentary they provide middle inning, mid-game to keep the Sodbuster crowd engaged. It's been a tough spell at home for the Sodbusters, just a 3-17 record, but everybody, management-wise, everyone else, been doing a great job to keep Duncan Field a fun place to play Sodbuster baseball. Luke Wenzel back out on the mound for his second inning of work. He faced 1, 2, and 3 and got them all out in the 4th inning. And he'll face 6, 7, and 8 for the Prospects here in the 5th.
And a reminder to come out after tomorrow's off day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, a whole night of winning. Even like $4,000 of the prizes on Friday, and then special stuff Saturday and Sunday as well. Game time 6:35 as the Zap come to town for the first and only time this summer season.
First pitch, and check swing did not go to Kitchens. 9 innings of winning. That's a fitting name for the weekend contest. First time that's happened this year. Here's strike 1. So Kitchens, like I mentioned earlier, has had a busy series. He's reached base both times, and he'll reach base again with his second hit of the game. Second single and a walk, and he's on base for the third time, and that's the 4th time in 5 innings the leadoff man has reached for the Prospects.
We go back to that first game when he had that big 2-run double. Kitchens had a nice day, so they won the first game 7-1.
So here's Danny Spongberg. He had an RBI hit in the first game. Also had an RBI sac fly as well, so 2 ribbies for him on the day as he takes ball 1. (1-0) instead of pick throw to first, and back in safely is Kitchens. Sodbusters have a very tough schedule for the rest of the way here in July. They'll play the Zap this weekend. They will see the Prospects again next week before welcoming. They will take a trip to Badlands, and will have Badlands here as well towards the end of the season, and we'll face Fremont to end the season. It's going to be a tough road for the Sodbusters. Again, only 2 teams make the playoffs, if you will. Just 6 teams in the Independence League eligible for the playoffs, as the Fremont Moo were the first half champions. The Nebraska Prospects and the Sawtooth Sockeyes not eligible for postseason play, so you have a battle between Badlands and Casper right now as Spongberg walks, and there are 2 on with nobody out. So the first 2 have reached and breaks the streak of 6 straight retired by Wenzel dating back to last game. So the Spuds, Badlands, and Spearfish, really the 3 teams in contention for this second half title. Pitch is blown away to Braden Cannon. Cannon has 2 doubles in as many at-bats, and his 3rd inning double drove in a run. Come on, Braden, give the fans some discounted beer. There we go, strike 1 on the inside corner. Cannon has struggled at the plate, but not today. He went 0 for 2 in this series, but has bounced back nicely with 2 extra base hits. Breaking ball, the slider gets the outside part of the plate this time. So Wenzel is hit on both parts of the strike zone, and we'll see what he has dialed up here. Said make sure that Kitchens isn't going anywhere at second. One and two to Cannon. Check swing and just got a piece of that one. Didn't mean to swing, but got a piece of that. So Cannon will get another swing on the house. His count remains 1 and 2. Fans want a strike. Let's give it to him right here. There's the slider, and that misses in the left-handed batter's box. So ball 2 to Cannon. Cannon playing third base. Even the kids are getting in on this beer batter thing. 2 and 2 count. Oh, just misses for ball 3, and looked like a pretty good pitch, and our expensive toy down at home plate thought it was a pretty good pitch too. Frank Williams did not.
Keep in mind, the Sod Busters do not serve beer to minors.
Yes. Payoff. Fouled off down to the right side. You know, kids, they take anything they hear and then they repeat it for a very long time. I know I was the same way. Had to be careful around my brother growing up. What we said, he would repeat everything we said, which wasn't the nicest things. Anyway, 3 and 2 count again to Cannon. Pick off throw to second. And going nowhere is Kitchens. Long at bat for Cannon and Wenzel. And that's ball 4 outside, and Cannon with a great eye to lay off that slider. And now the bases are loaded, and the first 3 have reached against Wenzel.
Wenzel really needing to bear down and looked so good in his 1 inning of relief in the first game. 1, 2, 3 in his first inning this game, but now single, walk, and now you've got your 9, 1, and 2. Really trying to put a big hole in this one, already up 6-0.
Sod Busters need a 0 here if they want to stay in this game. Already down by 6 runs, just with 3 innings left to play, as Palmer swings and misses that strike 1. Tyler Palmer on the day, on the series rather, has gone 2 for 6 and an RBI hit in the third. Foul back, and Palmer down 0-2. Always wondered, all those foul balls go to the parking lot. You never hear a big crash. Do those foul balls always miss the cars, or at least one person a game come and find a crack in their windshield? 0-2, popped up on the infield. This will be a tough play. Cabranes racing over, Gill racing over, and Gill makes the basket catch. And they throw back to second with the runner Spongberg coming off. And maybe he thought that Meyer was tagging or Kitchen was tagging at third, and he almost ran himself into a double play there. Instead, there's the first out.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they didn't at least bluff home, and especially with Gill throwing back to second, that they didn't send the runner from third, because they may have had a chance to get Kitchens home with the throw coming in behind Spongberg.
So here is Colin Lynham, who wants to put this ball in play and join in on the fun here. Called strike on the outer half. Lynham has been caught looking twice. This is Easton Swafford, I apologize. Swafford, the left-handed hitter, has walked twice and popped out to Printer. I mean, you call it a pop out because the infielder caught it, but he was down the left field line.
It was a fly out to left, caught by the shortstop.
There you go. And a pitch to Swafford, blocked by Wortman. Good stop there to keep the runners at bay. Sod Busters would definitely take a double play or even a strikeout here. Trying to keep this at 6 runs. And chopped foul down the left field side for Swafford. Single walk has loaded the bases. Palmer flies out. And Swafford trying to bust this game open here for the Prospects. Ground ball to Wenzel. They'll throw home for one. Wortman over to first, but not in time. But they do get the lead runner as they cut down Kitchens at the plate. Everyone else will trade places. Swafford will reach on the fielder's choice, but a great play by Wenzel to snare that ball and calmly throw home to Wortman, and that's not the easiest thing to do for a pitcher.
Just not enough juice on that one to give you a chance at the 1-2-3, and especially the ball hanging up. Wenzel had to go high to grab it, and at least they got the lead off of the lead man and see if they can get out of this with no damage done.
Here is now Colin Lynham. He takes the slider outside for ball 1. Lynham has struck out twice and has flied out. Those 2 strikeouts are both looking. Ground ball to Cabranes at second, and wouldn't you know it, after loading the bases, Wenzel gets out of it as he retires the next 3 in order to get out of it with no damage done. It's 6-0. The Prospect still leads. Sod Busters will come up in the bottom of the 5th.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sod Busters.
Just finished the 5th inning stretch here at Duncan Field as we're just about finished here with Game 2. Sodbusters have 9 outs to work with, and they have been in trouble against Braden Curtis. Curtis has been money since the 2nd inning. Curtis has retired 8 straight Sodbusters, dating back to the 2nd. Last base runner was an Anthony Chavez single in the 1st inning, or 2nd inning rather, and Chavez will be the first man to the plate. Fremont holds a 3-2 advantage over Oahe. Spearfish and Sawtooth playing a doubleheader. Spearfish leads 1-0, and Badlands and Casper also with no score in other Independence League action. There's a strike 1 to Anthony Chavez, and all teams will have tomorrow off before all 8 teams will start their weekend series on Friday. Ball 1 is up high to Chavez, and Curtis really slinging that thing in there. He is not lost any velocity by any means here in the 5th inning. Chavez, Gaz, and Wortman due up for the Sodbusters. Ground ball softly to third. Cannon on the run, shows off the cannon, and he gets Chavez for out number 1, and he is retired.
Second half standings updated by the Independence League. Casper at 10-5, Badlands 7-5. Oahe 7-7, Spearfish 6-8, Fremont 5-8, and then Hastings with the loss 2-10 of the teams that are going to be eligible for the playoffs. Fremont has already won the first half.
And how about Oahe? As Gaz takes strike 1. Oahe finished with 5 wins in the first half, and they are now even 500, 7-7. Sodbusters will try and wrangle with them later this weekend. And Gaz takes ball one up high. And that fastball just sitting below 90 miles an hour for Curtis. 1-1. On a rope to center field. Spongberg going back, and he dives, and he makes the play for out number 2. Spongberg thought that ball was going to be a lot shorter than it was and had to make a diving catch out there for out number 2.
I did too. Gas, how much power does he have? Because it looked like he took about a 2/3 swing right there, and he sent that one to pretty deep center field here at Duncan Field. And Spongberg, nice reaction to rob Gaz of extra bases.
That hit at 85 miles an hour off the bat and carried well over 300. So Wortman now bats. And takes ball one outside. 1-1 to Wortman. That is now 10 straight retired for Curtis. 1-1 to the left-handed hitting backstop. Fouled back to the screen. And Wortman down to his last strike. Just like game number 1, Sod Busters with some early hits. Early life on the base paths. And the middle innings, they have been smothered at the plate. Braden Curtis starting this game. Joel Benish starting the game number 1. As Wortman sprays that out of play. I think it's been kind of feast or famine for these prospect pitchers. Game number 1, the prospects allowed 15 runs in the frame of 3 pitchers. Good take by Wortman, and like we mentioned earlier, Wortman average doesn't stand out to you on paper, but what does stand out to you is his walk to strikeout ratio. Into left center field, and that will be caught by Colin Lynham as he runs that down for out number 3. That is now 3 straight 1-2-3 innings for Braden Curtis as he's retired 11 Sod Busters straight. Wortman put some good wood on it, but comes up empty. Final 2 innings. Prospects leading 6-0 coming up on Sod Buster Baseball.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain? Lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Hastings College has reimagined everything. As a sophomore, you'll spend part of a semester studying abroad, and they'll cover the cost. Recognizing it's a digital world and how you learn, they'll give you an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil. Tools that'll help you engage, whether you're on campus or in Paris. Plus internship opportunities and professors who mentor you. Hastings even provides books. At Hastings College, you'll go somewhere. Go to hastings.edu/discover for more.
Top of the 6th inning, Sod Busters looking for some answers here as they send a new pitcher on the mound, and Steve Stein takes us through the final 2 innings.
And Braden Mackey will get his opportunity, a guy who has really struggled in his first couple appearances, who's battled some arm issues. He's a Division I prospect, going to be heading to Oral Roberts after playing his college ball at Cloud County Community College, and he's 0-0, a 34.71 ERA in 2 1/3 innings. He's allowed 9 runs, 7 hits. He's struck out 2, walked 3, and hit 2 against Badlands on Sunday. 2 innings pitched, 5 runs on 6 hits with the 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 1 hit batsman. Hopefully he'll just do his best Luke Wenzel imitation. Luke, tremendous in relief today after working a scoreless inning in the first game. Comes in 1-2-3 in the 4th. Totally different kind of 5th inning as he allows a single and 2 walks, but bounces back with a pop-up and a fielder's choice grounder as well as a ground out. So really good job. Maybe one of the better days for Luke Wenzel pitching for the Hastings Sod Busters. Now Braden Mackey tries to find some answers, put a couple of zeros on the board, and at least give the Sod Buster offense a chance here in the final 2 frames. if you're thinking 6 runs is too far to come back from, I mean, just look back to yesterday. A little bit encouraged by this Sod Buster but it's just been non-existent today. And you tip your hat to Joel Benish, to Braden Curtis, along with the other relief pitcher who came in that first game today, who did a nice job of shutting the door there in the 7th inning for this Nebraska prospect squad in the person of Jackson Meyer. It's going to be 6, 7, and 8 up there, beginning with Cole Kitchens. Braden Mackey, the right-hander, is set to go. He will wind and deliver and brings it high and tight for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. A decent velocity for Mackey as he tries to find a way to get it across here. Pitches inside as he is going to be working now to Sid DeMayo. He's working to DeMayo here in the 6th inning. DeMayo is 1 for 3 with a run scored as this pitch is inside. Mackey looking to find a way to get it over here. 3-0. And the pitch right there for strike 1, 3-1. Nebraska putting an early 4 spot on the board in the first, added 2 runs in the third. That's where we stand. It's in the 6th inning already of this 7-inning contest. The Prospects won the opener 7-1. Swing and a miss, half-hearted opportunity there on a good pitch that reaches 86 miles an hour from the right arm of Braden Mackey. So Mackey's got a little velocity. Can he find the zone consistently? 3-2 pitch. Bouncing ball foul off the foot of DeMayo, and he'll get back in the box with a 3-2 count. So Braden Mackey, the third pitcher of the day. Fred Juden working the first 3, allowing all 6 runs after the 2 scoreless innings from Luke Wenzel. 3-2 pitch coming. Inside, and it hit him. So Sid DeMayo wears it. He's on board for the 2nd time in the game. And a leadoff man aboard once again for the Nebraska Prospects. They have made a big habit of that. They've had their leadoff man aboard 5 of the 6 innings. And here comes Jake Henry Williams. See how this team plays it. If they try to play a little small ball, just looking to tack on, or if they're swinging away. I've got your number 4 hitter up there. I'm thinking they're swinging away. Williams with a walk and a run scored back in the first. He is 0 for 2 on the day in this game after he had the RBI triple in the first, and this pitch way high and on to second base will go DeMayo on the wild pitch. As Mackey still fighting it a bit. Braden Mackey, he's a returnee from last year. Got off to a really tough start in the summer. Closed pretty strong. And like I said, doing enough at Cloud County Community College to get a Division I offer to Oral Roberts. And you know all about what Oral Roberts did this year. The best team in the Summit League and turned out to be one of the top 8 teams in the nation. Pitch high and tight, 2-0. As Mackey, maybe not getting a good grip, they'll toss the rosin bag out to him, and he'll hurl that to the mound in frustration as he gets back on the rubber here. And we talked about it with Fred Juden. Man, when it's not going well, it's hard not to be frustrated because you know you can do it. It's just not happening. Mackey comes set. 2-0 pitch on the way. Big swing, no contact, 2-1. He's got the kind of stuff to prompt some swings and misses when he brings it over. 85 miles an hour on that fastball. Runner at second, nobody out. Prospects already on top, 6-0, looking for more here in the final couple of innings of this one. Mackey a check of the runner at second. Pitch just misses, 3-1. So says home plate umpire Frank Williams. Jake Yeager working the field here in this second game. Those two guys switching places. It was Frank, the home plate umpire last night in the opening game of the series, won by the Sod Busters 15-8. 3-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Took something off of that one, I thought, but maybe not. It felt slower.
It did. I'm right there with you, about 85 on the gun. That's about where his fastball has been, on a little bit on the lower end, though.
3-2. Trying to find a way to get this first out of the 6th inning. Mackey comes set, This one is rocketed to center field. That is major trouble and carrying well, and it is going to one-hop the wall. A run will score. Hitting the second base bag is Williams. He will be in with a stand-up triple, his second triple of the day, as he had an RBI triple back in Game 1. He makes it a 7-0 game as he rockets one nearly out of here at Duncan Field.
I want to say pretty much everywhere else that is gone, no doubt. 405 out in the alley there. It took a one hop off the wall. And, yeah, that Flight Scope says 351. Might add a couple extra on there, but that's going to be a home run in most ballparks, but still drives in a run and gets that insurance for the prospects.
Jackson Meyer has a triple to his credit. And the first pitch is taken high for a ball. Meyer with a 3-run triple to put an early dent in this one back in inning number 1. He came around to score the 4th run on Kitchen's single. So runner at third, nobody out. Big swing and no contact there on the 71-mile-an-hour curveball, and it's 1-1 on Meyer. So a hit batsman and a triple to open this 6th inning, and this one is bounced back up the middle. Printer makes the stop, throws to first in time, run scores. A productive at bat there for Jackson Meyer. He's out 6-3, but drives in his 4th run of this game. So take Henry Williams with a triple and a run scored as he comes in on that play, and that'll bring Cole Kitchens to the plate. 2 have scored in the inning. It's 8-0 Prospects. Braden Mackey brings the pitch home. Inside for ball 1 ball and no strikes. Kitchens has had quite a day. Pair of singles in this game with an RBI and a run scored after doubling home a couple of runs in the first game. Pitch taken outside 2-0. And Kitchens with the relief work yesterday. As Ryan mentioned, it's been all over the field for this Nebraska Prospects crew. Hard hit ball to center field. That's a base hit. And they are getting decent swings against Mackey after the hit batsman. Triple, ground out, and single. And Danny Sponberg will come to the plate for the Nebraska Prospects.
Kitchens continues his perfect day now, 3 for 3 with a walk. And you had to wonder how much he'd have in the tank, but he, after pitching yesterday and playing third base in Game 1, he has picked up where he left off. Probably didn't even leave off to begin with.
They're young, and they're here to play baseball, right? So, I'm sure the energy level's still there, particularly when it's going well. Sponberg at the plate now. He lined out to right, flew out to right, and walked. 0 for 2 in this game after he knocked in a pair in the first game. Bounces this one to the left side. Chavez retreats, makes the stop, throws to second for 1, over to first. Not going to be in time. Really tough to double off Danny Sponberg, but Chavez played it perfectly, and a really nice turn by the second baseman, Marcos Cabranes. There are 2 outs. So 5-4 on the putout to erase Kitchens. Sponberg, a threat to steal, although do you when you're up 8-0. We'll see how the Prospects play it with Braden Cannon. Phoenix Stevenson is coaching third this game, getting an opportunity to flash the signs with Trevor Varley, the head coach, down at first. Stevenson, Grand Island guy, a Central Catholic grad, the former Crusader. He's got a couple area guys coaching this Prospect squad with Varley from Central City. 1-0 the count now on Braden Cannon. Runner at first, 2 outs, 2 runs home. It's 8-0, and this pitch is rifled to right field and going back and making a nice running grab is Taylor Gill. I'll tell you, I like Gill at second base, but he's looked really good covering a lot of ground in right field. And after all of that, the Prospects settled for 2 runs. Head to the bottom of the 6th, it's 8-0 Nebraska, and this is Sod Buster Baseball.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Out of the bottom half of the sixth inning, it's getting late. Sod Busters need an offensive onslaught to make this one a game. It's 8-0 Prospects. 4 runs in the first, 2 runs in the third, 2 runs in the sixth. Sod Busters trying to find the measure of Braden Curtis, who has been outstanding through the first 5 innings of this one, throwing only 54 pitches, allowing only 2 hits, both of those coming in back-to-back fashion in the second. 1-out singles from Jones and Chavez. And the Sod Busters don't have a base runner since that time. 11 in a row, retired by Braden Curtis, who winds and delivers to Printer, and right back at Braden Curtis. Oh my goodness, that's about as hard a hit ball as we've seen today, and right into the glove of Braden Curtis.
Whew. Ah, goodness gracious. Can't buy a hit here today against Duncan Field.
Not sure where to find my hit velocity on that fancy little flight scope thing, but that felt pretty hard.
91.3.
Whew. Yeah, that was what you call a comebacker.
That's a major league fastball coming right back at you when you are off balance as a pitcher. Great play from the pitcher, Curtis.
Like I say, in a perfect world, it gets by for a single, but I'm just happy it didn't catch Curtis cleanly. Yeah, that was kind of scary. Pitch is missing for ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. So Printer, a very loud out to open this sixth inning, and top of the order, Taylor Gill at the plate. He is 0 for 2, 2-0 count his way as Braden Curtis brings it home. And that one is rifled to the right center field gap. That's a base hit. Gill around first. He may have extra bases. He's heading there, and he'll be standing up easily. Actually, he slides, didn't need to. Now the ball bounces away, but no chance for further advancement. Like the athletic ability shown here in the first couple of days of baseball for Taylor Gill, the Division I prospect who's headed to Ohio. So I'm not sure what his best position is. I think the head man, Scott Galusha, was just talking about him at second base, but I thought it looked like a really good right fielder during this day. Lane Shires comes to the plate now with a runner in scoring position and 1 man out. 8-0 is the score. The Prospects on top. Sod Busters trying to at least get some consolation offense here late. Pitch way outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Shires, trying to keep his little hitting parade going. 1 for 2 in the first game today with a lone run scored. He's 0 for 2 in this game. Could be his last chance to keep it going for the Hastings Sod Busters. Runner at second, 1 man out. And this one is hit to the right side and into right field for a base hit. Here comes Gill around third. He will score, and the Sod Busters get on the board, trailing at 8-1 on the RBI single from Lane Shires.
And Shires has produced those runs as of late, and he continues his RBI ways as he gets more production at the plate. And like we said, Shires had a couple weeks off, but good to see him pick up where he left off. And they just appealed over to third, thinking that Gill Gill missed the base rather, but no success there.
And Shires with that run batted in, his 12th of the year after he had the 2 runs batted in yesterday. First pitch across for a strike, and I actually say that Cale Jensen offered at it. He's not so sure about that. No balls and 1 strike, the count on Cale Jensen on an off-speeder, which hits 77 miles an hour. Here's the pitch. It's missing for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike on Jensen. Jensen 0 for 2 in this game. 1 for 5 on the day. He had a hit in the opener. Sod Busters lost that one 7-1. They trail this game 8-1. So it's getting late. Sod Busters just 5 outs with which to work. They need to rally here if they're going to win this series against the tough Nebraska Prospects. Won 21 games in their 26 tries. Jensen bloops this one over on the right side. It's off the glove of the second baseman. He's going to pick it up and throw to second for the out there. It's going to be an out one way or the other. And really, no man's land for Lane Shires as he had to retreat back to first, thinking that Easton Swafford was going to catch it in the air. It bounced away from Swafford, but he was able to recover and throw out Shires. And so it's a weird fielder's choice there for Cale Jensen, and there were 2 men out. Here comes Marcos Cabranes, 0 for 2 on the day in this game, and 0 for 4 for the doubleheader. He had the lone run batted in as the Sod Busters scored just 1 in the first. They have 1 here in the second. The pitch taken upstairs for ball, 1 ball, and no strikes on Marcos Cabranes. So Cale Jensen pretty much putting it where Nebraska wasn't, but nice job for Swafford to stay with the play and get the out anyway. And the pitch is fouled away. 1 ball and 1 strike on Marcos Cabranes for the Hastings Sod Busters. Guy who's going to be heading back to Arkansas Tech, and you hope that he decides to spend next summer with the Hastings Sod Busters as well. He's been kind of a fan favorite and kind of an announcer favorite too. I mean, it's hard not to like Cabranes and his talent in a lot of different positions. And it's nice when he hits one like that into left field for a base hit. Sodbusters will go first to third here. Cabranes is going to try for 2. Sodbusters are actually going to get this one all the way home from first base as Cabranes splits the gap, gets the double, and Cale Jensen comes all the way around to score, and it's 8-2.
Great base running by Jensen and the aggressive send from Skipper at third base. Ball was actually bobbled out there as Lynham and Spongberg converged. They bobbled the baseball, and that allows Jensen to score. But Cabranes with a double nonetheless, but he waited on that breaking ball and smacked that into the gap. And Sodbusters with some life here in the 6th.
They do award an error, so no RBI for Cabranes, as the Sodbusters do get their second run because likely Jensen would not have scored on the play. It is 8-2 as Hastings answers the 2 scored by Nebraska in the top of the inning. If they had put a 0 on the board, we'd really be thinking it's a game. Sodbusters need a couple more to make it really interesting in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch across for strike, no balls, 1 strike on Nick Jones. Hastings Sodbusters down by a score of 8-2, so getting late offense. Can they get a big comeback? Here's the pitch. Jones takes this one for a ball. Jones has a single in the game. He had a hit in the first game today, so overall he is 2 for 5. Left-handed hitter against the right-handed pitcher, Braden Curtis. Curtis roughed up for the first time today. Here's the pitch. Inside. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Nick Jones, who will work the counts. Pretty decent eye. Does a good job of spoiling good pitches. We saw that full in effect yesterday for Nick Jones, who does lead the team with 21 base on balls for the summer season. 2-2 with 2 outs. 1 on, 2 home here for the Hastings Sodbusters in the home half of the 6th inning. 8-2, Prospects on top. Curtis out of the stretch. And this one is bounced back up the middle. Nice, easy hop for Swafford. Throws to first in time, and Hastings will settle for just those 2. Way to the 7th inning. It's 8-2 Prospects. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Sodbuster Baseball is sponsored by Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC. It's one of the many ways Jerry and Greg Spady, along with their families and employees, have proudly embraced a passion for giving back to the community. The folks at Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC realize the importance of enriching and improving the lives of their neighbors. They've accomplished this through philanthropy and active personal involvement. Featuring the top new and used inventory in the region and a certified service department, Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC, 2750 Osborne Drive East in Hastings, or at Spady.com. Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner, a friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Hastings Sodbusters down 8-2 as we head to the 7th. Braden Mackey out for his 2nd inning of work. Did a nice job bouncing back after a hit batsman and a triple. Gave up an RBI ground out. Had a single, but able to get out of it without further damage. And Mackey, see if he can find a way to put a 0 on the board here and give the Sodbusters a chance in the bottom of the 7th, trailing it by 6 as Hastings battle for 2 runs on 3 hits in their half of the 6th inning. RBI single from Lane Shires. A double for Marcos Cabranes ended up scoring the runs for Hastings as Gill and Jensen would come across home plate. And it's going to be 9-1-2 for the Nebraska Prospects. Palmer, Swafford, and Lynham for this Nebraska team. Sodbusters off tomorrow, then the Zach down Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 6:35. All 3 nights, 9 innings of winning. Friday, the biggest night of Sodbuster baseball with your chance to win $1,000 worth of prizes if you come on out Friday. First pitch is over but low for ball one ball and no strikes on that 73-mile-an-hour off-speeder to Tyler Palmer, who is 1 for 3 with an RBI and a stolen base. Batting in the 9th spot, bounces this one back up the middle. Printer having to play it on a couple of hops, and he's not going to have a play. It'll be an infield single. Battling a couple of different things. There was a high hop, went right up into the sun, and I think Printer lost it for a moment. And even if he fields it, I don't think there's any way they get out Palmer, and there's one on, nobody out with the top of the order coming up.
Yeah, that's when you probably got to charge and make a stabbing effort on the run there. But like you said, kind of in no man's land, and Printer was probably not going to get Palmer anyway, so give him an infield hit, and 10 hits now for the Prospects in this game.
And another problematic thing, I don't think Printer had sunglasses on, is it's a glaring sun right where Printer is. It's mostly in shadows in the infield, but the shortstop is in the sun. Bouncing ball right side and foul. No balls, 1 strike for Easton Swafford, the leadoff man who walked his first 2 times up. Has since popped up and grounded into a fielder's choice. He's 0 for 0 with a run scored here in Game 2 after he went 0 for 1 in the first game of the day. No balls and a strike, 1 on, nobody out, 8-2. Prospects on top. Pitch is across at the letters for a strike, and 2 strikes on Swafford. Easton Swafford out of Bee Branch, Arkansas. That, my friends, is an Arkansas town. Here's the pitch. You almost can't say it without saying, that's Bee Branch, Arkansas. That's
Bee Branch, and he will head back to Bee Branch after he strikes out there with the 1 out. You want to have a southern accent off, Steve?
Yeah, no.
I reckon you don't want to battle with my accent here.
Yeah, it's 8-2. We could do it. We could do the whole game like that, man. That would be. Would that be annoying, huh?
We probably wouldn't get anyone to listen to us ever.
I'll tell you what. I came from Kansas, and that's a southern state compared to Nebraska. Here's a little blooper right side, and that's going to be a base hit. And they're going to run to first and third. Them dead gum. Nebraska prospects looking for double digits here in the 7th inning. I'll tell you what. Don't you challenge me.
All right, you win.
Do not you challenge me. Yeah.
Do not. Yes. Hit and run there for. Hit and run there for Lynham is on base and
Lynham
perfectly placed there. Yeah,
he's had a frustrating day, and so I'm sure he's happy to get in the hit column there as Palmer advances to third. Lynham at first as he is now 1 for 5 with a couple of strikeouts, and here comes Sid DeMayo. DeMayo is 1 for 3. He's scored twice as the Prospects trying to get those runs right back after Hastings scored 2 to counter the Prospects 2, and now we're in the 7th inning of an 8-2 contest. Here's the pitch. Off speed, stays a little bit high. 1 ball and 1 strike on Sid DeMayo. DeMayo with that single in the first as part of the 4-run inning for the Prospects. They have not been stopped today. DeMayo singles this one into left field, and that's a base hit. Another run scores to make it 9-2. Runners at first and second as DeMayo brings home Palmer from third. Lynham is at second base, and the Prospects looking for double digits here with only 1 man out, and that's the person of Jake Henry Williams, who had an RBI triple last inning. Williams with a rocket shot as he has had himself a day. They scored 6 of their 7 runs with 2 outs in the first game in a 7-1 victory. They've scored just about every situation here in the second game. So they had early offense back in the first, getting their first 2 on in the 3rd inning, and then added 2 more in the 6th and 1 across here in the 7th as the Sod Busters try to keep them out of double digits. Problematic whether they can do that with the score now 9-2. Mackey out of the stretch, brings home the pitch. It's outside for a ball. Stowe Braden can figure it out here over the next couple of weeks. It's great for the hometown guy to have a chance to pitch here at Duncan Field, but battling those arm issues and just trying to find a way to rediscover his command here in advance of his next college stop, ORU, down in Tulsa. Pitch in the dirt, scoots away from Wortman. Base runners move up. They'll be at second and third now, eliminating any double play hopes, so there's second and third, a big RBI chance for Williams with 1 home in the inning already.
Sod Buster pitching staff now with 161 pitches here, and they have not completed 7 innings of work. So high labor pretty much every inning with the exception of the second inning.
Here's the pitch. High and tight. 3 balls and a strike now on Jake Henry Williams. There's been one 1-2-3 inning recorded by the Sod Busters, that by Wenzel in the 4th. Faced only 4 men in the second. That was Fred Juden's 0 on the board. Here's a little looper caught by Marcos Cabranes at second base, and that's the second out of the inning as Williams jammed in a good pitch from Mackey. And that will bring to the plate Jackson Meyer. They've gone to the backup PA guy, I've noticed, as Brian Frew, I think, is having his kids now. Hopefully they get a little pay. You know, child labor laws coming into effect right there. But if it's your kids, you can work them.
Their
next
pay
generation.
Their pay is just, they're having a good time over there. They look like they're having a blast.
Come on, there's candy. There's got to be candy somewhere along the line. I'll do it, Dad. But and it's great to have kids because you can pay them in candy. Here is Jackson Meyer trying to continue inning. Runners at second and third. 9-2 the score. Prospects on top. Big swing, no contact. Nice job for Mackey to take something off of that one. It's just over 70 miles an hour on that off-speed pitch, and 1 ball and 1 strike to count on Meyer. Meyer's had a big day. 4 runs batted in this game. Worked a scoreless 7th inning in the first game today to mop up for Joel Benish, who picks up the win in the opener. 2-1 the count on Jackson Meyer. Meyer grounds this one to the right side, but foul. Trevor Varley just catches that one cleanly with the right hand. He's the head coach. Still got it. He could probably go and play a little at Central City right now. 2-2 the count on Jackson Meyer. Varley, the head coach, coaching first. It's Phoenix Stevenson, third base coach, the Grand Island Central Catholic grad. 2-2, and the pitch. Way high, 3-2. Don't lose him, Braden. Find a way to get out of this with no more damage done. And if you do that, you kind of consider this a step forward. It's been a bit of a struggle for Mackey in his first couple of appearances, but trying to find a way, maybe a couple of more appearances here during this final few weeks. Grounder back up the middle. Mackey, good job getting the glove down. He'll toss it over to Gaz, and that'll do it as the prospects settle for 1. They lead it 9-2 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. This is Sod Buster Baseball.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say Allo. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
At the bottom of the 7th, Sod Busters trail it 9-2, and they will face a new pitcher, Cole Whitehill, a left-hander from Papillion La Vista High School. His latest college stop was the University of Dayton in the spring.
Yeah, and he is currently in the transfer portal right now, still has 2 years of eligibility left. He had surgery in January to alleviate thoracic outlet syndrome. If you know what that one is, then points for you, but he's recovered from surgery. He's recently started throwing in the top of June, so it's a good story for him just to be back in the game after that surgery just 6 months ago. And here he is pitching on the mound for the Nebraska prospects.
And the way I understand it from Coach Varley, they removed a rib. It was a blood clot in that area, And it could have killed him. So, it's just, like I say, there's baseball and then there's life. So it's just great to see this guy have an opportunity. 0-0, 9.0 ERA. 1 appearance, 1 inning, allowing 1 run on 3 hits. His first appearance of the year was this past Sunday. And now he gets an opportunity to get his second trip to the mound. And he's going to be going against Chavez, Gaz, and Wortman, trying to clean things up for Braden Curtis, who was outstanding through the first 6 innings today, throwing only 71 pitches and allowing 2 runs on just 5 hits. First pitch strike, no balls and 1 strike on Anthony Chavez, as guy who's had a variety of college stops and mentioned is still looking for his next college home. As the 0-1 delivery from Whitehill, and Chavez couldn't catch up to that. He's down to the count. No balls and 2 strikes as Whitehill went to Southeast Community College and then on to the University of Dayton. But now looking for that next college opportunity. 0-2 pitch from the lefty. It's down low for a ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes on an 84-mile-an-hour pitch there. Anthony Chavez, Landon Gaz, and Rusty Wortman, the first 3 up against Whitehill. As the Sod Busters trying to rally late, they trail by 7. Here's the pitch. Just misses. And DeMeo was ready to throw it around the horn for the strikeout. Instead, it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes on Chavez.
A little too close to be taken there for 2 strikes. Down 7. Last thing you want to do is be caught looking here.
2-2 pitch from Whitehill. Bouncing ball left side and into left field for a base hit. Chavez has his second hit of this game. He's 2 for 3. A multi-hit game for Anthony Chavez, the third baseman for the Sod Busters.
And that's now his 9th multi-hit game. And with that hit, he ties Marcos Cabranes with 9 multi-hit games on the season.
Landon Gaz will bat now. He's looking for his first hit of this day, a fly out to center and a line out to center, as he smoked one to center field last time, and nobody but Landon Gaz thought it was hit that hard. Danny Sponberg didn't and was able to go back and make a solid running catch. Gaz fouls this pitch back, and it's back through the stands and over by the dugout for the Nebraska prospects. 0-2 the count on Landon Gaz. The Californian is going to be going to UC Irvine in the fall. 0-2 pitch on the way, and this one is fouled back again. It remains 0-2. He bugged his high school coach until his coach finally found him a place to play. He was looking to play summer ball and just kept looking, and his coach was able to turn him on to the Hastings Sod Busters, and the next thing you know, well, he's coming to Nebraska for the first time ever. Now, what a neat goal for him to want to play this level of ball before his freshman year of college, and he's really enjoyed the experience.
I think, yeah, going to a D1 school like UC Irvine, you want all the experience you can get, and definitely a great fit for the Sod Busters here.
0-2 pitch on the way, and Gaz watches this one go by for ball 1. And I really enjoyed his comment, the fact that, as a D1 recruit, okay, thinking, well, you're going to be playing some NAIA guys, you're going to be playing some JUCO guys. He's been impressed at the level of the pitching he has seen here in this summer league. 1-2 pitch, called strike 3. Gaz could not pull the trigger on that one from Whitehill, and there's 1 on and 1 out for Rusty Wortman.
Perfect pitch right there on the lower half of the zone, and Gaz could not pull the trigger. I know that low and in pitch is so hard to pull the trigger on for a right-handed hitter, and Gaz victim of the strikeout here in the 7th.
And 85 miles an hour on the fastball from Whitehill as he'll work lefty-lefty, and the first pitch missing for ball 1 to Rusty Wortman. And got a kind of a funky delivery too, and you wonder if he had that kind of delivery before the surgery, but it's I would think it'd be really tough to pick up the ball. He almost has his back to home plate as he brings the pitch home. And this one way inside, and it gets a piece of Wortman. The Sod Busters will have 2 on and 1 out with Josh Printer, who hit it about as hard as any Sod Buster today. Unfortunately, it was a liner right back at Braden Curtis for an out to open the 6th inning.
You mentioned that Whitehill has that kind of that funky delivery. Does that remind you of any recent Major League left-hander?
No, but I bet it does to you.
I'll give you one more pitch just in case something clicks here.
Okay. Josh Printer is at the plate, and Whitehill blows it by him right there. 87 miles an hour for that one.
My guess is going to be Madison Bumgarner.
All right.
Kind of with the extended leg kick and kind of the across-the-body delivery like that.
Yeah, I can see it. Pitch misses for ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike on Josh Printer. 2 on, 1 out. Sod Busters trying for a big rally, or at least some consolation runs here against the Nebraska Prospects, who are looking to win this series after winning the first game of the doubleheader 7-1. Here's the pitch. Over for a strike. It's 1-2. Printer may have thought that was a little bit low, but 1-2 the count on Josh Printer. Top of the order, Taylor Gill waiting on deck. And I think the Sod Buster dugout may have said something, as that prompted home plate umpire Frank Williams to remove the mask and give a stern look over to that Sod Buster dugout. 1-2 the count. The pitch, and Printer could not catch up with that one. He goes down on strike. Second strikeout for Whitehill, and last chance will be Taylor Gill. So a single for Chavez, Gaz with a strikeout, a walk for, I should say, hit batsman for Wortman, and Printer down on strikes, and here is Gill, who's 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. Sod Busters' only offense coming in the 6th. Perfect pitch on the outside corner for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. 85.5 on that fastball. So Whitehill trying to put a 0 on the board here in the 7th to clean things up for Braden Curtis, who would get the win. 0-1 delivery. Way outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Curtis, the starter out of Papillion La Vista South, looking to pick up his 2nd win of the summer season for the Nebraska Prospects, as they are on the verge of win number 23 in 28 tries. 1-1 delivery, and this one is grounded foul, and the Sod Busters will be down to their final strike. Taylor Gill down to the count 1-2. Prospects with the best record, but not going to be playing in the postseason. They're a travel-only team. You've got Sawtooth. They haven't played really very many games within the conference at this point. They'll get a few more in the month of July, but 28-9 overall, 2-2 against the Independence League. And this pitch inside, man, you earn it when you take an 85-mile-an-hour fastball off the backside, and so the Sod Busters will load the bases with Taylor Gill. Second hit batsman to go along with the 2 strikeouts and a single, and here's Lane Shires trying to keep it going for Hastings. And at this point in the year, that's one of the guys you'd probably like at the plate with the way Shires has been swinging it. And it's not going to be Lane Shires. Instead, there will be a pinch hitter, as we'll see Kyle Hiltbrandt get an at-bat. Maybe a little more power potential for Kyle Hiltbrandt in place of Shires. Here's the pitch. And fouled back. No balls, 1 strike. Hiltbrandt, a pretty decent swing there at that fastball from Whitehill. So no balls and a strike. Shires ends his day 1 for 3 with an RBI, after he went 1 for 2 with a run scored in the first game. 0-1 pitch on the way. Stays outside. 1 ball and 1 strike, as Kyle Hiltbrandt, 400 against Nebraska this year, 4 out of 10. He went 1 for 3 yesterday, knocked in 2 and scored a run. See if he can gap 1 and get 2 or 3 home right here. 1-1 delivery. That's inside, and it gets through the wickets. Sod Busters will get a run home on a wild pitch, as Chavez comes in from third base. Wortman reaches third. Gill to second, and the Sod Busters are down 9-3, and a couple of more RBI opportunities out there for Hiltbrandt. Kyle Hiltbrandt, last hope for this Sod Buster squad as they try to battle back. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2-1 pitch from Whitehill is on the way. Low for a ball. Good stop for DeMeo to save another run. And it's 3-1. Head coach Trevor Varley with a little bit of room with which to work with his team up by 6 and trying to let Whitehill work out of this with just his 2nd appearance of the summer. 3-1 delivery, and this one is popped up, and that should do it. Second baseman Swafford's got it measured back into the grass area just beyond the brown part of the turf, makes the catch, and the Sod Busters swept today as Nebraska wins the first game 7-1, and they take out the Sod Busters 9-3 in Game 2. We'll have some numbers, talk about this second game, and get to some comments from a member of the Hastings coaching staff right after this. This is Sod Buster Baseball.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sod Buster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sod Buster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sod Buster Baseball.
Hastings Sod Busters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate wood bat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sod Busters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodBusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sod Busters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sod Busters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better.
Hastings College has reimagined everything. As a sophomore, you'll spend part of a semester studying abroad, and they'll cover the cost. Recognizing it's a digital world and how you learn, they'll give you an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil, tools that'll help you engage, whether you're on campus or in Paris, plus internship opportunities and professors who mentor you. Hastings even provides books. At Hastings College, you'll go somewhere. Go to hastings.edu/discover for
After a 15-8 victory yesterday for the Hastings Sod Busters, a doubleheader sweep for the Nebraska Prospects today as they win the opener by a score of 7-1. And game number 2, 9-3, as Ryan Valenta, the Prospects, have shown why they have been the best team in this Independence League, doing a little bit of everything well. And I don't think they actually did have one error in the second game, but overall really solid defense, good pitching, and just too much for this Hastings team today.
Yeah, the first game was really, it was kind of in a, with a thought of what could be. Are the Sod Busters hot now? Have they figured out the key? I mean, they had all cylinders firing in the first game, but the next two games, just the offense not able to replicate that success, and you can't blame them. They're called the Prospects for a reason. These are guys who are getting seriously scouted. They're in this to get scouted by a D1 team, likely, but for the Sod Busters, they put up a good fight in the first game, and I mean, credit to the guys. They didn't give up. They, especially in this other game, that they put 3 runs late on the board, albeit just a little bit too late. But for Sod Busters, just got to regroup and get going for this weekend series.
We'll have the numbers here momentarily, but first of all, Vinny Caron, the assistant coach, pitching coach, has come up to join us. A doubleheader sweep. I guess just the initial impression of the way the team played in the Twin Bill today.
It's a good team. It's a good team across the way. They hit the ball really, really hard. I thought they gave us some opportunities in both games, maybe to push across some runs, maybe push some across late, but obviously a little too late. The big key for both games was really just walks and hit by pitches. We gave up way too many free bases that way. The defense I thought was steady, good enough for us to win a baseball game, but we know they're going to hit a lot. We can't give them free bases to help them out as well. Marcus Miller obviously got hit a little bit harder, I think, but then later we walked a few too many guys, especially that second game. So get back after it this weekend. A little bit less hitting team, so it'll be a little easier on our pitchers if we just go at guys and play good defense like we've played the last couple days. I think we'll win a few games this weekend.
Had some late offense from a couple of guys. You have Chavez with 2 multi-hit games in the series. You have Marcos Cabranes with a 3-hit game yesterday, picked up another hit today. I mean, the first game notwithstanding, the second and third games, just a little bit less offense, but what was the difference between today and yesterday in the approach at the plate?
Really, I think yesterday a lot of it was them giving us opportunities. They walked a lot of guys, hit a lot of guys. They also made some errors yesterday, which gives us more at-bats, gives us more of an opportunity to score some runs and hit RBIs. Today, I think the pitchers were a little sharper. The lefty in game one was very good. He had a clear approach. He was throwing his fastball and change up to the righties, and then fastball and curveball to the lefties, and kind of had us off balance with those two pitch mixes to the two sides. And then the guy in game two as well threw hard, had us off balance for the first few innings. Then we finally got to him third time through the lineup. So I think that was really just the difference. Their pitchers were executing today, whereas yesterday they weren't. And part of it's our approach at the plate. Part of it is just pitchers being on this day.
One of the bright spots maybe for this Hastings squad, the bullpen work of Luke Wenzel. Got 3 zeros on the board in over the 2 games. Talking about his effort.
Yeah, he threw really, really well today. It was big to be able to come to him in both those situations to get us out of situations and just kind of push the game along with zeros. So that way it gives our offense a chance later in the game. He had a tough outing this past weekend, a couple in a row where he just kind of hung a pitch and gave up a home run, which faced good hitters in those situations and high leverage situations. So it's good for him to have that experience in tough spots. And I think it's proving on the back end now that he's coming in and maybe clean innings and taking care of business himself. Kind of got himself into a jam there with bases loaded, but in the past where we've seen him maybe get frustrated and lose focus, he was able to stay locked in and go right at guys and get a pop-up, a ground ball, and then I think a strikeout to end the inning. So credit to him, growing and learning as he goes, and definitely a bright spot on the afternoon was him coming in and putting up 3 zeros in the 2 games.
Obviously, you're in it to win it, but summer ball also about guys recuperating and trying to maybe rediscover themselves. Braden Mackey, I know he gave up 3 runs today, but did you see some steps forward for him as he tries to get ready to go at ORU?
Yeah, definitely. I think big day for him, just in command of his curveball. I think that was what stood out the most to me. Coming back from an injury, and that's really, really hard on pitchers. Not really on the legs, getting ready. I think he's been lifting and doing things like that. So he's in shape. The biggest thing is just trusting your arm. And when you've had an injury like that, it's hard to go out there and just trust it and to feel the same way you felt before. So he throws really hard. He's got a lot of moving parts that move fast. So it's tough to be locked in, especially when you've been injured and not been throwing a lot. So he's gotten a little bit better in each outing, I think. Obviously, the first one was tough. The last one this weekend was a little bit better, and then today was even better again. So I think we can expect him to be a pretty good piece for us moving forward, especially if he can land that curveball early in counts and behind in counts when we need him to. And then that fastball will come pretty quickly, too.
It's Vinny Carone, pitching coach. We appreciate him joining us. Thanks for coming up as we'll try to wrap things up here today as the Sod Busters end up falling in a doubleheader. To get you some final numbers in this game, as man, we appreciate Vinny. Just comes right up so fast that we weren't ready to even, we haven't even really capped the numbers, but the prospects go 9 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for the second game. Sod Busters 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors, as the Sod Busters getting a run scored from Gill. Lane Shires with an RBI in that game. We had Cale Jensen scoring a run. He went 0 for 3. Marcos Cabranes went to 1 for 3. Nick Jones 1 for 3. A multi-hit game for Anthony Chavez. He scored a run as he goes 2 for 3. That's the offense for the Sod Busters in game number 2. Fred Juden takes the loss, going 3 innings, allowing 6 runs on 6 hits. Walks have been an issue for Fred, and he walked 5 today in his 3 innings of work, 3 strikeouts. I mentioned Luke Wenzel, 2 innings of 1-hit ball, walking 2 and striking out 1. Really good job for Luke today after he had that 1-2-3 inning in the first game today. And Braden Mackey went 2 innings, allowing 3 runs on 5 hits, struck out 1. Maybe one of the big stats, no walks for Braden Mackey, so that was a really good sign for him. As far as the Nebraska prospects, putting the finishing touches on that doubleheader sweep, a multi-hit game from Sid DeMayo as he went 2 for 4, an RBI, 2 runs scored, 4 runs batted in from Meyer, Jackson Meyer, with a 1 for 4 performance. He also scored twice, 3 for 3 for Kitchens with an RBI and a run scored, a multi-hit game for Cannon as well, and for Palmer. So they ended up pounding out 12 hits and getting it done offensively as the Sod Busters dropped the series 2-1, an off day, and then fun baseball this weekend with the Zap coming in. And keep in mind, Sod Busters, 4 of their 8 wins this year have come against the Zap, so hopefully that's a good sign and you can find a way to beat that team from South Dakota.
Yeah, this is it's a tough 2 losses for the Sod Busters after a great game 1, but like you said, the Zap is a team that the Sod Busters have had the number 4. They've only seen them on the road. They're 4-2 against them, and they have had some very good games against the Zap, so we'll see how the Sod Busters fare against them, and especially for the Zap, they're playing 500 ball right now, 7-7 in the second half, very much in the picture for the second half title. So for the Sod Busters, they will have to cool them off, and for the Sod Busters, be great to get a home series win against the Zap this weekend.
9 innings of winning coming up on Friday. If you're in the region, come on out. A lot of prizes to be given away Friday. Game Saturday and Sunday as well. 6:35. We'll be on the air at 6:10 Friday evening. For Noah Pagel, for
Catch the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sod Busters.
Get the ultimate